your judge's trainer. He's a former coach of Sterling Heights High School, a 5-time Class A state champion team, and everything from coast to coast involved with cheerleading. She also holds a Bachelor of Science in Education from Central Michigan University, a Master's of Arts in Counseling from Oakland University, and a K-12 counseling certification from the state of Michigan. Please join with me in welcoming Terry Castles.
Thank you. I'm really thrilled to be here because I have watched the Fort Huron cheerleading program grow for about 13 years, 13 or 14 years since I started at Sterling Heights. And I wanted to share with you a couple of things about watching you get to the level of state competition. Two things happened that were particularly fun for me.
I'm the third coach that came in. I came in kind of late in the summer. I had a summer job and I wasn't real sure if I could do this, being that half the girls that were on the team were still my teammates from last year. And I didn't really know if I could tell them what to do and if they would really take me serious or not. But I did it anyways, and I joined Mr. Miller and Kelly right before school started. So that's when I came in. And it's been really great this year with all 14 of these girls. Half of them were my teammates, and they were like the best of my friends. And now the whole team, I'm the 14 new best friends. And it's hard, I guess, just to see them now. They're where I was maybe a year ago, and I didn't think that
I told you she was going to.
that I would be able to go through college and stuff, but I didn't. I would like to thank Mr. Miller for giving me the responsibility as a girl. It was a big responsibility, one that I've never had in my life. My parents don't even give me that much responsibility. But after this year, believe me, they give me more trust now. It was a real job, and it helped me a lot. It's what I've learned from these 14 girls I'm going to use for the rest of my life, and it's really going to help me through. And also Kelly Ross, she was also one of my teammates, but this year I think some people think we were attached as a hip. That's how close we were this year. Everywhere I went, Kelly went. And it was just like our friendship grew tremendously this year. And the teammate, we were just a hard team, and she was a teammate. This year she's like probably one of my closest friends, and we trust her and respect her with anything. And she let me in. When she already worked with the girls for a good 2 months, took them to camp, when I came in, she invited me right in to help her out, and we worked really well with each other this year. I also just want to say real quick that I want to thank the girls for giving me the respect. I'm really close in age to them, and I'm also half their teammate. And when I said or asked them to do something, they did it. It took a while, but they did. They listened to me and they respected me, and that's hard. I don't even know if I could do that to somebody who's such close in age. And it's one of my friends, and it worked out well for us. So I guess I'm just going to say I'm proud to be up here and acknowledge the 7 girls I'm going to take of this year. And I just want to say thank you, and I'm very proud of you, and I wish you the best of luck through whatever you do, whatever you choose to do in life. First of all, I want to start off by thanking Mr. Miller, because I know it's not easy for somebody that is in such a powerful position to put trust in 2 girls our age. Just to think that there's a lot of responsibility, and I really appreciate him giving the chance for us to prove ourselves to him.
I want to thank the parents for letting in 2 crazy ex-cheerleaders and the next hockey coach. Coaches the bigger girls, which I'm sure crossed their mind a few times. Oh my God, what am I doing? I want to thank them most of all. It was great having a squad that I could be friends with. It was great knowing that if I had a problem, I could go to them. If they had a problem, they could come to me. And it was really nice just knowing that I always had at least 14, 15, 16 people who cared about me as much as I cared about them. I want to thank them for all the memories because they're terrific and I'll never forget them. And I want you guys to know how much I love you and how much I'm going to miss you. But I'll see you next year, so that's all. We're going to start now.
Got her mad, she sat him down and told him how it was. Good job.
Next, I want to acknowledge Tracy Smith. Small at first, but I think quickly learned that she's somebody that you necessarily don't want to mess with. She's got a feisty little pump around her. She always had a smile on her face, and no matter what she had to say. I'll never forget the time that she decided to bring those little, those little Easter chicks that you get at Halloween, or excuse me, at Easter. She had 2 packs of them around the way bus, and she decided she was going to eat all these little Easter chicks, and she was just bouncing off the walls. I mean, this girl was on a sugar high like you won't believe. And Tracy's just always been a lot of fun to be around, and she's a great cheerleader, and I know she'll go far.
Next person I want to acknowledge is Josie Hoffman. I remember it would be Josie, believe me. Josie made this year the most interesting and the most funniest, and I will never forget Josie. She's a really strong person. She wanted to base. She ended up basing. She based in our state competition and regional competition, and she did awesome. She doesn't look like a base, but she's a really strong one. And I just want to say, Josie, I always remember you as the dolphin.
The next one is LaQuetta. The best jumps I've probably ever seen in my entire time of cheerleading. But most of all, she's always got a smile on her face. She always had something positive, something funny to say, and she was always really caring. She was always there when I really needed somebody.
Michelle Rucker. I was saying her name the whole year wrong until finally somebody said, didn't I say her name wrong? And I was like, why didn't you tell me? Michelle was a quiet one, but yet I tell you, sometimes she'd get a little spunk inside her, and her quad would go out like freeze, and you couldn't get her to stop laughing. You go, oh, Michelle. She's always quiet. Michelle was one of our tops who did an awesome extension Liberty press that she wasn't really strong at as a top before when she was on JV, and this year she came up to take us to state competition as an excellent top.
Next is Melissa Moore. This season with injuries and stuff, but she always managed to pull through. It was nice to know how much she cared. She's always picking on Miller. She always kept Miller in line, which I really appreciated. Every day somebody goes through Miller, and she was the one to do it. I know you, sister.
Georgia Hoffman. Was our guy watcher. Everywhere we went, Georgia fell over somewhere. She wanted to take a guy home everywhere we went. She also, I just want a special congratulations and thanks to Georgia that she had a big scholarship that she was able to go to in Washington due to a very high GPA. And she had to miss regionals, but she did get to go to state as a help and a standby. But she did an excellent job. She never missed a practice. That whole, I think it was a month that the girls practiced, that she really wasn't involved in cheer. And she was there. She was helping. She never missed anything. That it was hard for her to be an outstander and look in.
Next is Mandy Floyd. Mandy was a sophomore, which is unusual for a freshman to come right up to varsity. She's very talented, she's very skillful, she's an excellent cheerleader, but most of all, she's probably one of the funniest girls in the squad. She always had something to say or something to do that was going to, make everybody laugh and feel a little bit better.
Junior high school. Better known to me as Bean. I don't know how she got that nickname, but everybody kept thinking, someone named her child Bean. So I just kept calling her Bean, but she was my pride and joy on the team. Anything or anytime I said, Gene, you gotta be stiff, you have to punch. The minute after that routine or cheer was over, she'd be right up. How can I be stiff? How can I do better? Just tell me, just show me. And that really made me happy that she respected me, took my advice, and wanted to learn from that. Thank you.
Next one is Melissa. I remember Melissa is always sick. She was always coughing or something, but she stuck with it. She was always out there. She was usually quiet if there was something really important that had to be said, and then she said it. So she was a real strong part of the team.
Carrie Taylor. Carrie was one of our young ones, along with Mandy, but she never know to look at Carrie and see her cheer. She was very strong. She was an awesome top for us. And she was gullible. Anything we wanted her to do, Carrie would try it. Good men high, good men falling down there, and Carrie would try it. And she also worked very hard on some handsprings that she will probably get, if not that she doesn't already.
The next one is Danielle Graham. I prefer to call her Libby. She knows why, because she'll get really mad if I tell you, so I won't. Libby was great this year. She always used to say, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'll do it anyway. She was really easygoing, and she'd go with the flow, and even if she didn't know what she was doing, she'd fake it. She did a really good job faking it. That was what was best about Libby.
Angie Monroe. Angie Monroe was our emotional girl on the team, but she never once, if somebody on the team had a problem or needed to talk about something, Angie was always there. She lent a helping hand. She was also one of our strong bases that she helped us out in any way. We'd ask Angie, want your spot? You could be a base, you could be this. Angie was there.
Last but not least, Strong Magic. Okay. We used to call her Rose. Now, she knew that that nickname came with lots of love and affection, so it wasn't a bad nickname. It's just sometimes we weren't sure if Dawn was with us or not. So we just snap Rose out there every now and then, and she'd come back. Dawn was an excellent cheerleader. She had a beautiful jump. She was always usually pretty quiet, but she always had something good to say, something positive to say. She was, always really upbeat and positive right before competition, which really helped the girls out. And that's our 1994 state qualifying varsity cheerleading team.
We just go just a little bit above everybody else. I always stress team. They heard that all year long. You're a team. You will do it together. You will either win as a team or you will lose as a team, but not one individual person will fail. And number two is to believe in yourself. No matter what you do, sure, you may not have gotten it right today, but you will get it right tomorrow. Don't be so hard on yourself. Believe in yourself and you will be successful. When I sat down with these young ladies about a month and a half ago and we talked about special awards, I let them tell me what they felt should be there. I mean, it's their team. What should they select? And I let them select. I could have sat there, Kelly could have, and Tiffany could have said, okay, this one should receive this one should receive that. But I think it's appreciated more when it's from their peers. And all of these awards except for one, and realistically even the one that the coaches selected, which was the most improved, that slot was on the ballot and the girls filled it in, even though they weren't supposed to, they did it anyway. But there was the same person that we selected. So realistically, all of these girls that will be brought up here now, you can see the certificate, were selected by their peers. They were picked out by their peers to be just that much above everybody else throughout the year. Okay, now, this is the only one that really, the three of us had a whole lot to do with. I'm going to ask some young lady to come up here. She amazes me in what she can do. She drove me nuts all year long. She's always kicking me and hitting me. But she's a beautiful young lady. She's a very talented young lady. She is the recipient of the Most Valuable Mascot Award for this year, which goes to Molly Gibson. Okay, the next award will be going to the Varsity Cheerleading Captain Award. The captains were selected by the girls. They took a vote, they voted, and selected who they wanted as their leaders. And they had captains for football season, and then they re-voted, and they had captains for basketball season. When captains were selected, I met with each one of them, and I explained to them what their responsibilities were. And they were not just to walk around with a big smile on your face and say, tell everybody in the world that you're a captain. You have to be a leader. You have to be someone that these girls will look up to. You're not always going to be the well or most liked person because you may have to tell somebody that they got to get moving. You may have to kick them in the tush just a little harder sometimes to get them going. And they took on that responsibility and did a great job. This year's Varsity Cheerleading Captain Awards go to Jeannie Heitke, Melissa Moore, Michelle Brown. The next award goes to the most improved team member. Again, this is the one that the coaches were going to select on their own, and they did, but it was the same one person that the ladies had selected. This person, as was stated earlier, is very gullible. She will try anything. At first, I'll never forget when we talked about her going up on top. And the first thing that I saw these girls do besides that basket toss was that flip off of the shoulders on that floor. I'm going, oh my God, they're going to kill each other. And this young lady at first didn't want any part of that. She wanted no part of that whatsoever. She went up one day, did a flip, come down. She didn't land perfectly, and she landed a little harder than what most people did and touched the ground on parts of her anatomy that she wasn't supposed to. But the next thing I know, she's got motion sickness. She can't go up that high. It's too high for me. I have motion sickness. I can't go up there. But she fought off that motion sickness, and she got it together, and she became one of our top 3 flippers from the top, and that is Carrie Taylor. Next award goes to the most spirited, once again, these young ladies are selected by their peers. This lady is full of spirit. She was always kicking somebody, telling them, let's get going, always positive, always thought and knew that we could make it. We didn't care how we got there, we didn't care when, we just said we were going to be there on that final day. And we were lucky to be one of the 18 teams left in the state of Michigan still performing and competing on that given day. And a lot of the spirit and heart of this team goes to this young lady that's selected by her teammates. The most spirited is Tracy Smith. All of these awards and the titles and so on, again, for another thing that the ladies selected. They are the ones that said this is what we should have and what we shouldn't have. This all comes from them. When you're full of spirit, you believe in yourself a great deal. You believe in who you are and what you can accomplish and what you can do to help the team accomplish what their goals are. This young lady is definitely a team-oriented person, but she's a very confident little thing, I'll tell you that. When I question whether we should be doing some things, again, just out of lack of knowledge and fear for some safety and body parts of these young ladies, don't worry about it, we'll do it, and we'll do it right, and they did. I am proud to say that she has been selected as a member of the Cheer Michigan Camp Program Counselor. She will be training girls from around the state, and I believe from other states that do come in. And to be selected, you have to be superior. And they go through a very tough process and a tough interview program, but most of all, you have to believe in yourself. The most confident award goes to Tracy Smith. The next award goes to that young lady that showed the most precision. And again, this deals with kicks, punches, knees, and all that stuff that I never understood, but finally did as we went on. Her precision and what she did was always top notch. She always set the example for everybody else. And when everybody else maybe was a little tired or slacked off a little, this young lady never let anybody down. Never said, we're tired, we should stop now. She always did that extra kick or that extra punch, and it was always done extremely well. Again, selected by her peers for the Precision Award is Melissa Moore. Congratulations. Boy, she sure takes after her father. The next award is to the most dedicated person, the next dedicated cheerleader. This young lady would give her anything to this team. She would have given her arm, her leg, anything. She cried a lot because sometimes things just didn't work perfect. She believes that they can be perfect. But she was never negative. This young lady was never negative. There were times when they were going up the mounts that would fall down faster than they went up. But she was always positive. She was always there to say, we can do it, girls, we can do it. When we were in squares, yes, she would say what was wrong, but she always came back with positive. Most dedicated award is selected by her peers is Jeannie Knight. Jeannie is always a very straightforward person. She always says after 8, so I have to get moving. Okay, no problem. Most valuable cheerleader, that cheerleader that went just a little bit further than everybody else. That one that maybe made a difference here and made a difference there. Was always a positive. Wasn't afraid to say what was on her mind, that's for sure. But always believed in the team and promoted the team all along. Selected by her peers as most valuable cheerleaders, Michelle Brooks. years, and there are athletes that are up there for various sports throughout the years. Hanging up there right now is the David Leonard Award, which is for the Outstanding Senior Cheerleader. That cheerleader is the one that was a combination of all those that went to individual skills. They were dedicated, they were positive, they were a leader, but most of all, they were a team member and promoted the team in a positive manner at all times. They gave of themselves for the betterment of the team, and that was what it was all about. So the David Leonard Award winners, and there are two, there was a tie this year, whose names will be going up into the Hall of Fame as soon as we get it over to the store to get to be printed out. Those are two people that I respect a great deal, it's Jeannie Heike and Michelle Brown. Okay, Ms. Bixler.
Quick right.
I understand you want to come to this microphone. Come on up. All of a sudden she's shy. He may need to cheer too to reach the podium. Always got to do this meeting, doesn't he? I understand why you guys have such a difficult time. You're all old. My name is Joe Bixler. I'm the father of this wonderful little girl here who's been a mascot for the Big Reds for the last 4 years. And I just want you to know, my wife and I, how much we enjoy, I guess I'm going to need to put it in Jerry's words, we've been through it for the last 4 years. It's just been wonderful to follow Big Red football and basketball and see this little girl out there with all the big girls doing their thing. We have some presentations to make. This is going to be Matt Molly's last time. I get through this without crying. My wife said I had to cry to that. She couldn't be here tonight because she had to be at class, so we'll see what we can do. First of all, we need to make a presentation to Mr. Miller. By the way, Molly picked out all of these gifts, and she did it with a great deal of love. And the only thing that we could think of to give to Mr. Miller was Molly's sweater bag that needs to go to another little girl from Roosevelt next year. Roosevelt's a little red country, by the way, folks, right back here. And we'd like to see a little girl, or for that matter, a little boy, from Roosevelt be the mascot next year, and we need to return the sweater. Molly, you want to give that sweater? Apparently that's all that we have to return. The rest of Molly's uniform is proprietary. Our dear friend and neighbor, Debbie Stewart, made the rest of it. She said, keep every one of those things. In addition to that, Molly got Mr. Miller a little gift. We really didn't know what to get Mr. Miller, but I told Molly, I said, the only gum that's allowed on the campus of Fort High School is Big Red gum. Mr. Miller, true to your heart's content. This is probably going to be the more emotional part of this presentation, even though we're not going to get out of here by 8 o'clock. You're going to have to bear with us. First of all, I have to read Molly prepared a speech, and it's all written down and typed nicely so I can read it. I like being a mascot. I'm going to miss cheering for Warrior High. And not being a little mascot anymore. It's going to be very hard for me just to sit in the stands and walk out and cheer next year. It was hard just watching the games during the regional basketball and watching all of you cheer. I wanted to cry, but it was nice to know that other people got to cheer. I don't know if you folks are aware of this or not, but during the basketball season, 1 or 2 of these young ladies had to sit in order for Mom to get on the court and cheer. So they had to make a sacrifice. And I guess that's what team's all about.
I will especially miss my friend Tracy and all the coaches. I also want to thank Nancy Studer for making me a Big Red mascot when I was 5 years old. And Debbie Studer, without her, I wouldn't have a uniform. You think that football coaches don't, I coach football here, that is a football background.